Tell me about this. How's it been going, and looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight as well. We had a fantastic audience with the volunteers last night. Stag and Doe is a comedy, the first Canadian play at the Capitol Theatre in over 10 years. And it was written in 2013 by Mark Crawford and has been produced several times since. It's the story of what happens when a Stag and Doe pre-wedding party conflicts with an actual wedding day as they battle for who gets to use the community hall for their party. The process has been electrifying with this cast of amazing 6 comic actors. On the first day of rehearsal, we did a read-through of the play, and I felt like the play was already ready to go. So you're going to jump into a process of 3 weeks of rehearsal, or 2.5 weeks of rehearsal, that really was just about having a lot of fun and laughing with this cast who have made amazing choices, with the designers who you'll actually get to witness what the designers do. And the set, for example, is replicas of a mishmash of community halls from the 70s, 80s, 90s, renovated. You'll recognize everything in this place. Down to the last detail of every prop. The sound in the once the wedding starts, you'll hear the background music of a typical wedding playlist of a DJ, and it's constantly blaring throughout the scenes as part of the comic backdrop. And then the lighting is we've created this beautiful backdrop landscape where you kind of get a little hint of what it would be like to be in the community hall, because most of this takes place in the kitchen of the community hall, so we're only seeing what happens in that perspective. But we've created this just liminal space where we get a hint of how that party's going back there, so that you, the audience, feel like you're actually a part of this wedding / Stag and Doe.
Looks like in between scenes, it looked like a family atmosphere, really, with the actors and actresses. You could tell how everybody got along, and it was more like a family together.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of that has to do with the casting process. And when I was auditioning actors for this, of course we were on Zoom only at the time when we were casting several months ago. Some of the actors I'd known before, but you just get a vibe for who would fit together and gel together. And like I said, on the first day of rehearsal, they read the script, and it's like they've all known each other for 10, 15 years, which these characters are supposed to be affiliated with each other as if they were from a small town, and they've known each other for 15, 20 years, and it happened instantly. So I was very happy on that first day and very relieved that that's what happened.
Almost similar to where we are with Coburg Port Hope being fairly small town.
Yeah.
It's, you could see it could almost happen.
Exactly. Well, the designer Jackie Chow and I, when we were talking about how we want this to look, we looked at lots of sources of Port Hope, and we took little details that we could from Port Hope, so that you'll recognize little bits of it, and you'll say, that's just like our town here. So it's very Port Hope friendly.
Tell me about the person you play in the show.
So in this show, I play Dee, who is a loyal friend to Bonnie, who's having the Stag and Doe. Dee has suffered some heartbreak. She was left at the altar 7 years ago, and she's trying to move forward with that. And, throughout the play, maybe she runs into the man who left her at the altar. I don't know. You'll have to come check it out and see what happens.
What's it like playing at the Capitol Theatre so close to home?
It is such a thrill. It's just so wonderful to be. So I'm living in Coburg, and so happy to be part of that community, and it's so great to have access to this on my doorstep. It's really a treat, and I get to go home to my kids in Coburg every night. So that's a wonderful thing for me.
The Capitol Theatre is a special place. If you can just talk a little bit about that, the history of it.
Absolutely. The building has been here for over 100 years. Started as a cinema, became a theater, a really anchor in the community. Obviously went through some really hard and scary times during COVID, but we're back. We're back with a fresh season of shows made specifically for this community and with this community in mind, and we just are so excited to share it with everyone here.
What's your background? Talk a little bit about your background in acting if you can.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, I grew up on the West Coast. I trained a bit in Toronto. I trained in the UK. I've been very lucky to work in all kinds of places. I've done a bit of TV work. So if any of you are *Handmaid's Tale* fans or Star Trek fans, you may have seen me there. But theater is really what's so exciting because you get to be there with the audience and sharing that energy. So.